Hello and welcome! In this RH Jam, we'll discuss the chaos in our daily life. Can we even stop it? Plus, we will revisit all our events in Europe recently and take a look at Ignite coming up in this December. Right now on the RH Jam.
Audio Jungle.
And hello again. If this is the first time with us, let me tell you I am Anna Clavel, and I will be the host for this weekly review of anything and everything reconnective healing. If this is the first time you've heard about reconnective healing, I'll just have something I prepared here earlier to share with you, and that is that it was discovered in 1993 by Dr. Eric Pearl. And this is an energy-based approach to healing and inner transformation that can be learned by anyone and everyone who needs to learn how to understand and interact with energy. And they are so motivated to heal themselves and heal others. This is, again, an energy-based approach to healing and transformation that requires no steps to follow. And anyone and everyone can learn to do this. Another thing that is very good because, people like me who cannot follow steps very well or remember things, this is truly an amazing tool to have. It is also something that has been scientifically validated, and it is non-touch, no hands needed to touch anything, and it requires no techniques. Now, in order to know what we're doing, you would like to like us, subscribe, so that you can get notified right here in our amazing YouTube channel. And now, without further ado, let's dive right in. All right, so one of the most amazing things that we get to do in our company and in the Reconnection is that we get to take the message of reconnective healing around the world. And this past few weeks are no exception. Our team is in Eastern Europe, visiting multiple cities in amazing presentations in Prague, Brno, both in the Czech Republic, Bratislava in Slovakia, Zagreb in Croatia, and Belgrade in Serbia. Now, just a little bit about who we are and what's going on. Dr. Eric Pearl is our founder and also our head instructor, and Gillian Fleer is our co-instructor, head of development and head of insight. They take it onto themselves to bring the message around presentations and workshops around the world. And this is a beautiful picture that came to us from Brno, I believe. That's Dr. Eric Pearl on the left, Martin Kubu, who is a practitioner in Prague, Gillian Fleer, and our Vladimir Eckert, another amazing reconnective healing practitioner, our host over there during this amazing tour. Now, let me show you a little bit of what they did. In this lovely slideshow that the team put together for me, we can see them at the halls they visited. They visited multiple ones in this particular adventure. That's also Zvemir, one of our teachers and reconnective healing practitioner. The beauty about being able to interact directly with people is that these frequencies simply love to be around us, and it's very common for people to experience the tangible aspect of the interaction with the frequencies by just being in the same room as Eric, Gillian, or any of our presenters are. It was a fantastic experience. As you can see, it was really packed rooms throughout, and all around a really good learning opportunity for all our students and possible students over there. And I encourage you, if this is attractive or is calling to you, to consider it. Here's another beautiful photo with the team as they're moving from one location to the other. Now, I have one more wonderful thing to share with you here. There is this amazing video shot live 2 days ago that I just did a quick put together so you can see a little bit about the quality of the information that we share in our presentations. And I want to leave you now with Eric and Gillian as they're presenting in Zagreb, Croatia.
Incredible. When we're willing to explore and discuss things that don't make absolutely clear sense to us.
Ali smo spremni otkrivati stvari koje nam nisu u potpunosti jasne i smislene.
We grow, we expand.
Tada rastemo i širimo se.
When we're willing to say,
Kad smo spremni reći,
I'm not sure what the answer to this is, but if I did know, it might be this or
nisam
that.
siguran koji je odgovor na ovo pitanje, ali kad bih znao, mislim da bi bio ovo.
We grow.
Tada rastemo.
We grow by stepping into an uncertainty or a not knowing box of facts.
Kada zakoračimo.
Facilitator of reconnective healing challenges the ego.
Onaj tko provodi rekonektivno iscijeljivanje izaziva ego.
The ego that shows up in a disguise.
Ego koji se pojavljuje pod nekom maskom.
In the disguise of really focusing and hoping and wanting
pod maskom fokusiranja
you to get well.
Da se vi osjećate bolje.
We start to feel really good when you get well and really not good when you don't get well.
Počnemo se osjećati vrlo dobro kad se vi počnete osjećati bolje i vrlo loše.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So how is that ego?
Zašto je to ego?
Because the more invested we are in you getting well, the more we are secretly taking credit for the healing.
Jer što se
when we have the opportunity to take a step back,
kad imamo mogućnost odmaknuti se korak,
be the witness,
biti svjedok, svjedok,
be the observer,
biti promatrač,
be the participant.
biti sudionik.
No, I'm just playing with you.
Samo pokazujem.
Be the catalyst,
Biti katalizator,
not the conduit, not the source,
ne provodnik, ne izvor,
but to be the witness
nego svjedok.
and to be able to watch
I moći gledati
the absolute awe
apsolutnu
and
nevjerojatnost
beauty
i ljepotu
of what this intelligence that
onoga
knows
što ova
more
inteligencija
about
koja zna više
what she needs
o onome što ona
than
treba,
I could ever conceive
nego što
my
bih ikad
human
mogla shvatiti
educated
svojim
mind,
ljudskim obrazovanim mozgom,
just to be her observer.
samo da budem promatrač
You
nje.
see, this is
Vidite, ovo je
our wholeness. This is our greatest role
naša najveća
as a
uloga
human being.
kao ljudski.
You asked for the what that you wanted,
Zatražili ste ono što ste željeli
and you didn't get sidetracked
i ništa vas nije omelo.
in telling the universe how it should happen.
Niste rekli svemiru kako bi se to trebalo
That's
dogoditi.
healing.
To je isciljenje.
Don't you want to hug him?
Želite li da me molite?
You came all this way.
I hope you enjoyed that quick video that I put together for you. And as Eric and Jillian were explaining, one of the truly beautiful standout elements about reconnective healing is that we do not direct the healing. The healing takes place in that connection between you and the universe itself. All we provide is the aspect of being a catalyst for that to happen. And it is always what is needed. Always. I want to share something else about Eric and Jillian. As you know, they spend most of the year on the road and they send us some of the most fun pictures and adventures ever. And this one in particular is they spent a good night and day in Zagreb exploring the flower main market. And as well as having a very fun time exploring Bratislava. Let me show you right away. He's just going around the parks, taking in the sights. We love our fun. We love letting our hair down and enjoying the cities we visit. They visited a very special place in Zagreb called the Millennium Ice Cream Parlor. And apparently they just had to try at least 3 flavors each. This whole sequence is about just telling jokes as you're walking down the street in Zagreb. It's just fun. They're just fun. And they also had the opportunity this time to visit a hero of ours, Nikola Tesla. As you know, this is his country of origin, Croatia, and there's a beautiful monument to him in the main area. And here's the gang again with Vladimir and Martin at breakfast. All right, so are we ready to talk about chaos? So, can we stop our daily chaos? This whole idea came out from an amazing blog that the team put together, which you can find in the links below. I put a lot. Let me try the other hand. Hang on, this one's better. Here. In the links below, I put a whole lot of amazing links for you to also catch up on Prague and our travel log and everything else. But there's also a link to this amazing blog about chaos and inner peace. I find that we have all our own perception of chaos. And I love this amazing image that the team put together for me. Let me just enlarge it real quick for you. See, I like it because here is this refracted reality that looks very chaotic and very subdivided and fractioned. And yet at the middle, this person, this silhouette is just calm, cool, and collected. And could it be that chaos really is informed by our perception of it? To help us talk about this and how that outer atmosphere impacts our inner atmosphere, how that perceived external chaos may cause us stress, may be causing us stress, I have a very special guest. I have Miss Joan Fowler, who is a not only a reconnected healing instructor, she is somebody who speaks very often on her own near-death experience and how she's actually learned to see beyond that original experience via the reconnected healing frequencies and being that similar altered state of reality and inner peace just by interacting with the reconnected healing frequencies. So let me get her ready in a second. And here we have the amazing Miss Joan Fowler. Hello, Joan. How are you?
Oh, yay, I'm unmuted. I'm great. How are you doing, Anna?
I'm really well. As you know, we just we chatted a little bit earlier about what was your.
Okay?
Yes, I can hear you perfect. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
And I can hear your frequencies too.
Oh, you can? Yeah, I felt them coming.
Yeah. Joan, I was telling the audience today, our viewers, that you not only are you part of the Reconnection International teaching team, as a personal presenter, you also speak often about your near-death experience and the inner peace that you discovered back then, and how then finding reconnective healing or reconnective healing finding you, how that inner peace and your perception of chaos changed dramatically. Share with us. I mean, we're talking about chaos in our daily lives. What is that? What does that look like to you?
Well, you know, it's interesting because for me, what happened was chaos. At the time, I found reconnective healing, but I became aware of it. Chaos for me was just my daily existence. And when I went for that, well, actually, when I picked the book up, I could feel this vibration that was familiar. It was like I was starting to remember something. My inner peace was trying to come through in a way. And so, you know, I went for the healing sessions, and in the context of having a reconnected healing session, I went inward back to that place of love and light that was very similar to my near-death experience. It was just a knowingness that I came in touch with again on a really incredible level, and it was so familiar. And I think many people who experience reconnective healing, they start to have that familiarization or remembering of the inner peace, which is within them, which can permeate their daily life, really. For me, in my work world at that time, it was very chaotic. And the reconnective healing that I received started to move me back into greater understanding, a feeling of peace, that it was all going to be okay. So in my daily life, I experienced that quite often without really, trying to actively connect with the frequencies. It just becomes a part of who you are. Does that make sense?
I love what you've just said, because we often think that, okay, I'm gonna go into the space and I'm going to play with the, oh, there it is, inner peace. But you said something very interesting. It's like it just is there. It's not like you're actively trying to get anything going or receiving from the reconnective healing frequencies. It's just that they are you. Tell us a little bit.
It's like oftentimes you've heard this expression, you don't have to sit down to meditate, you don't have to sit down to pray, you don't have to prepare. What happens ultimately is you become the prayer. Your life becomes a meditation as you take on an experience of awareness that is vast, that puts you really not just in your body, but a little bit just like outside of it. So in near-death experiences, we often talk about you receive a life review. With reconnective healing, it's almost as if I'm receiving an instantaneous life review with every action I take, because I can feel how my actions feel to another, or how my words may land on someone. It's really an incredible experience. Sort of, you wonder if you're in an echo chamber when it's happening. You're like, whoa, So and we were going to talk a little bit about coherence, but really coherence is understanding. And I think for me, what it's given me, the greatest gift it's given me, is understanding in my life, and how each of our lives is perfect. It's perfect. It's a thread in a beautiful tapestry, and without it, the tapestry would come unraveled. So each of us matters, and every time I sort of trip over that, it makes me a little bit excited and calm at the same time. It's like heightened awareness, but calmness at the same time, all at once. So, yeah.
I have experienced that, and that sometimes it becomes a little bit harder to explain it to people who are watching us who may have not had that experience before. So let me ask you, why is it that then we have the ability to tap onto this tool, reconnective healing, and say we're coming here refreshed, we've never heard about this. Tell me, what are the things that sometimes stop us from being able to create that space, inner space, to feel that inner space that comes so naturally via reconnective healing in our lives, and instead we just let chaos take over us? Are we trying to control chaos? Are we trying to avoid it? What do you think are the dynamics of that?
I love that, because I think when we end up trying to create a control situation where we're trying to manage something, we put all our effort into thinking what the potential outcome should be, instead of just focusing on whatever's in front of us and sort of allowing it to return to harmony and balance itself, because it eventually will. I mean, that's just the nature of existence. I was thinking about an example to give you. You're always, most parents are trying to get their children to clean their rooms, or at least get them into some semblance of order. And the more I would try to control what I thought my son's room should look like when it was organized, the less he was in for that, But when I would say to him, well, what have you done to improve the situation? He would show me, I folded the clothes, although they might not be in the drawer. To him, that was an experience of coherent organization. It's just from my perspective, I wasn't allowing myself to see that patterning that he was inflicting upon his room. So if I would allow myself in more instances, it would bring me greater inner peace to just allow the changes to come. But I'm in resistance when I think I know what the outcome should be. And then I get into this judging about what it should be and how it's not working. And that creates inner dissonance. So anyway, those are just some of my explorations. How about you?
I really love the story about the room because as I was growing up, I had two siblings, and we each had after a certain age our own rooms. We used to share when we were really little, but as we grew up, my father would, who was very scientifically minded, he had named each room a disaster zone, and he was like, oh, half entropy. Oh, getting closer to entropy. Oh, full on entropy going on here. I think they tried like you did. At some point, they realized that there was a sort of a method to the madness, a coherence that to them,
Absolutely, and
right?
chaos and coherence is really filtered through the lens of the observer. So we really have to put our attention on what we pay attention to, and where we can find our inner peace. Years before the reconnection, my son, who was 1.5 at the time, was throwing peas or something, and both of us parents, we were trying to convince him that he shouldn't do that, and he didn't like the peas, and he was trying to tell us he didn't want them, and eventually the dissonance was so awful, he closed his eyes, and with his eyes closed, we tried to tell him, "Hey, we're still here," and he said, "No, you're not." So he was trying to teach us, go within, and don't always be disturbed by the outer world. Find your inner peace. I can only find that I see that story in retrospect, what a great lesson it was, but at that time I wasn't ready to hear it. We never served them peas again. You got the message.
I bet you were finding still a few around the floor a few years later, because those things just run.
They can hide, right?
Oh yeah, I've been there. To that point about the inner, you're finding that sanctity within is something that. I was just reading the polls. About 70% of all Americans are now looking into meditation, looking into some sort of mind training to take them away from the stress of the chaotic life around us. And it seems to me, like you were saying before, that this requires that I stop and do something, so I can create the space. It seems like it has steps that I needs to follow. It's not like it's an instant access to this.
Yeah, well, reconnective healing is the reconnective healing frequencies are always there, and they are looking to us. And wherever we put our attention, our awareness, our ability to allow it to come forward, just that in that instant when we say, "I wonder what's next," in that gap between I wonder and what is where the universe comes in and helps bring us to a more coherent understanding of the bigger picture, without the judgment of whether it's good or bad. Good or bad is just a part of duality. Just to be in that observation, to be sort of like, say, in that peaceful middle. It allows us to see the bigger picture of what's going on. Yeah, without trying to quiet our mind.
Yeah.
By just focusing our attention on a particular thing. For me, what happens is a lot of time when I'm I'm disturbed about stuff going on, I'll take just a moment and look at a flower, and it takes just that instant where I'm like, wow, that is amazing. And the universe rushes in and just I'm in a peaceful zone is the best way I can describe it.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Nature really connects me to that.
I love how you said that universe rushes in. What a beautiful image.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Joan, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to tell our viewers that Joan will be live at Ignite in Palm Springs this December. Again, I've put a link down here, not only to the Ignite event, which we'll be talking about in a little bit, but also to Joan's page. So you learn a little bit more about her, what she does, and where you can see her next live. Joan, again, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Anna. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
So that was our amazing Joan Fowler. I pulled out a few things that I think are super important here about what is it that may help us enable in us those who are already in the journey of understanding and interacting with the reconnective healing frequencies. A few things that I've taken from that amazing blog. Thank you, Corey Redstone, our emeritus blog writer. And here are three of the four of the points that she makes in the blog, which are numerous, but these ones are very important. Like, take care of your inner atmosphere. And you may want to read the blog so you know what I'm referring to, but like as Joan said, the outer atmosphere clearly is going to influence how you handle stress, how you handle your day-to-day. So by observing how you're feeling inside, you may notice that that is really dictating how you are perceiving your external life. Sorry about that glare, guys. I have a problem with one of the lights. I'll fix that fairly soon. And I'm back because technology happens. Woo! Alrighty, the next point is all you need is I'm going to read what she wrote originally, which is great. It isn't necessary to set aside a significant amount of time to receive and experience the RH frequencies. Even seconds of awareness of their presence can bring you into coherence. Which is coherence, for those of you who are not familiar with the term. Coherence is another word for order. Brings things into order, into an orderly way. Another thing is that in connecting with the frequencies, we do not need to set aside space or perform complex rituals, just like what Joan was saying. It's when you have learned to connect, it becomes part of our nature, like breathing. So if you are in this journey, if you're in this path of reconnective healing, let's take a moment with a flower. Take a moment. Be with the flower. Let the universe rush in. What a beautiful image, Joan. And last but not least, reach out to those who practice reconnective healing. Your fellow, if you're a practitioner or if you are alumni, you know that you have access to all the alumni, and you can talk one-on-one, maybe on Skype. Maybe you can set up like a play date on Skype. And it just bathe in the frequencies, discuss them, be aware of them. And we know that in that awareness of just talking about them, the reconnective healing frequencies just are. And they become very tangible. So I want to encourage anybody and everybody who's watching and just let them know that we do have a chat going on. I'm going to check what people have been writing here. So hello to Ricardo, and hello to Esma. Hello, Rocio. Rocio, we are not going to be translating this time, but we are going to try and do one in Spanish soon. Rocio, no vamos a traducir esta vez, pero estaremos haciendo algunos en español, ya avisaremos. Sorry, I had to switch to Spanish there for a second. And anybody else who has a question or has a comment, please go ahead and use our chat forum. That's what it's there for. We are here to update on everything and anything, and it may include your questions as well. All right, so this is the moment in this live streaming which I'm going to tell you real quick about what's happening and what's coming up next. One of the things that I always like to do is I want to introduce our program so people know what is it that I'm talking about when I start describing them. And Here they are magically appearing on the screen. We actually have two programs and one that combines the two. The portal, also known as the Reconnective Healing Online Essentials Level 1, is the basic, essential aspect of learning everything about reconnective healing, and you can do it online. It's available 24/7. It is beautifully done, great content, very short segments, easy to follow. If you are really ignited and inspired, then there's always the Catalyst, which is then the weekend training program that we do, in which you really get to interact on a one-on-one, not only with our teaching team, which may include Eric and Jillian as well, but also with the frequencies themselves. That's where you expand your understanding, your knowingness of them, your awareness, and your circle of friends, because everybody leaves a friend after that. And if you already know that you want to do both, then there's the one experience, the ONE experience. Observe, notice, and experience. And that gives you the best of both worlds. So, what is this Ignite thing I've been saying, since Joan joined us? Let me show you a quick video.
It was incredible.
And this is an event for our alumni where they're coming back and we're having the opportunity as senior practitioners to share our experience.
And when you talk about reconnective healing, when you listen.
Who had a good weekend? Oh my God, I did. Oh, I love it. Here's all of our students at the waterfall.
Because you guys are all going to step into your mastery.
Thank you. I just had to tell you that.
You are going to transform into beings of light that you never even imagined was possible.
Great, I love that video. So let me tell you real quick about Ignite. This is an alumni only event that we are hosting yearly. This time is going to be in December. We had one earlier in April that was our premiere with the program, and it's a super fun, super in-depth exploration of the frequencies, of our understanding of the frequencies, and of enjoying each other's company in a rarefied environment. We offer reconnective yoga every morning, plus a mastery course in it as well. We have a Saturday night social mixer. It's happening at the Riviera Pool and Spa in Palm Springs, California, and the place is just beautiful. Oh my goodness. Palm Springs is truly a star in this show, so to speak, because it just offers amazing opportunities to enjoy nature. That's what we're going to be doing, meditations. We're going to do hikings. We're going to be doing a lot of outdoor activities that encourage that moment of letting the universe rush in, of being able to taking a flower and be the flower itself. We'll have also workshops for those of you who are already setting your practices of how to even further your practice, your healing practice. And we'll offer reconnective healing kits for kids and reconnective healing animals. No, we do not teach the animals how to do reconnective healing. Oh, that was a bad joke. Sorry, guys. We teach the human friends to do it. All right. We have a quick upcoming events window right here, right now. And yes, guys, we are on the time crunch for Prague. Prague is happening in October, first week of October, first weekend. That's just a couple of weeks away. It will be the last Catalyst in Europe and in English as well, and it will have Eric and Jillian. So if you were not able to make it to Germany a couple of weeks ago, this is your last chance for an European Catalyst in English with Eric and Jillian, and I cannot recommend Prague enough. I love that city. If I could, I would have I would visit it at least twice a year. I would not recommend in the dead of winter because it was really cold, but in the summer it was gorgeous. Bogota in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And that is an amazing team led by Guillermo Poli, Carlos Velez, with Monica Novoa, Marcela Barboto as well. That is happening in Bogota. That is a global teaching team led program. So you'll have the intimate experience of working directly with our team, and is the only one this year that is going to be 100% in Espanol. So take advantage of this, guys. And then I know we're going to Tokyo. I don't have the graphic, but I know it's Tokyo. And then we have Mumbai, which is also in English, and that will be presented by Guillermo Poli, our co-director of the Global International Team of Teachers, of Reconnective Healing Teachers, and our own by Ravi Mehta. All right? So let me just leave you with this, a few thoughts here. Reconnective healing is more than a tool. It is more than an approach. Like Joan says, interacting with these frequencies becomes second nature. It becomes you. And in that merging, if we could say that word, that inner atmosphere that gets aggravated, gets stressed by the chaos surrounding us, those two things, this instant inner peace, just happens. You don't need to seek it out. You don't need to look for it, set up candles, nothing like that. It's just there. And second, when you look around you, the chaos suddenly stops being as chaotic. Your perception of it and your understanding changes. And that in itself is such an important aspect of how we interact with the environment, the outer environment, and how it affects our inner environment. Last words, we have a free audiobook that you can just go down there and to all the amazing links that I put in my little description for today's show, and click on that link and you can get your free audiobook narrated by Dr. Eric Pearl himself. A special thanks to our entire team, right here on the right, to your left, maybe it's to the right. And I am Anna Clavel, and it has been a pleasure to meet you here in a live through YouTube for this RH Jam, the Reconnective Healing Jam. Thank you, and see you next week, same time, same day.
Audio Jungle.